मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पद आनशृण्वन् पूतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। नारद उवाच प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं गौरीपुत्रं विनायकं भक्तावासं स्मरेन् नित्यम् आयुः-कामार्थसिद्धये। प्रथमं वक्रतुण्डं च एकदन्तं द्वितीयकं तृतीयं कृष्णपिङ्गाक्षं गजवक्त्रं चतुर्थकं लंबोदरं पंचमं च षष्ठं विकटमेव च सप्तमं विघ्नराजं च धूम्रवर्णं तथाष्टमं नवमं भालचन्द्रं च दशमं विनायकम् एकादशं गणपतिं द्वादशं तु गजाननं द्वादशैतानि नामानि त्रिसन्ध्यं यः पठेन्नरः न च विघ्नभयं तस्य सर्वसिद्धिकरं प्रभो इति नारदपुराणे संकटनाशन गणेश स्तोत्रं संपूर्णम्। ओम अखंड मंडलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ओम we now chant Dakshinamurti Stotram. ओम मौन व्याख्या प्रकटित परब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानम् पर्सिष्टान्ते वसदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे पटपिटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुयुवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशया निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम अष्टकं प्रॉपर। विश्वं दर्पणदिश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकरणा वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावी विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकम् असत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात्करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भो निधौ तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः। इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नानाचित्रघटोदरस्थितमहादीपप्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाते तत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलान् बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्वहमिति भ्रान्ताभृशं वादिनः माया शक्तिविलासकल्पितमहाव्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्त दिवाकरेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोध समये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जागृतादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तः सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वा य एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्य नलो नीलोम्बरम् अहरनाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्मात् विभोः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति सुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानात् च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूति सहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्ये तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम्. We'll do Gita chanting now. Gita Dhyana Shloka chanting. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandatami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Fullararindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrtaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishadho Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandana Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Mritam Mahate Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vajasaroja Mamalam Gitartha Gandhotkatam Anakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shakpatairaharaha Vepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimana Pradvamshina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Padavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti yam yoginaha yasyantam na vidussura suragana devaya tasmai namaha. We are in chapter 6. Atha Om Shri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Shashtodhyayaha. We do chanting from verse number 6, 7. So we'll do 5 and 6. We have to learn verse numbers 8 and 7 and 8 today. We'll see it in a fair amount of details. So verse number 5, I'm chanting for you slowly. Uddharetatmanatmanam Uddharetatmanatmanam Natmanamavasadhayet Natmanamavasadhayet Uddharetatmanatmanam Natmanamavasadhayet Atmaivahyatmano bandhuhu Atmaivahyatmano bandhuhu Atmaivaripuraatmanaha Atmaivaripuraatmanaha Atmaivahyatmano bandhuhu Atmaivaripuraatmanaha. Whole verse. Uddharetatmanatmanam Natmanam avasadayet Atmaivahyatmano bandhuhu Atmaivaripuraatmanaha. Simple words, you are your own best friend. You are your worst possible enemy. You don't have to blame anyone else for your success or failure, especially in the spiritual. Even otherwise, you can't blame anyone for your success or failure. But when it comes to spiritual field, you take the initiative to grow. The guru can perhaps teach you, give you the right directions, give you the right references, but you have to grow yourself. Particularly, don't pull yourself down. Na atmanam avasadayet, which is the problem for many of us. Sir, I am not doing this properly. How do you think this will click for me? I am a papi. How will this click for me? I am too old now. How will this click for me? I don't have time. How will it click for me? You don't have time, you have to make time. If you're too old, you still have to find a way to study. Don't pull yourself down. Don't give excuses for you're not growing. And he says, verse number 6, Bandhuratma manastasya enatmaivatmana jitaha bandhuratma bandhuratmatmanastasya enatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. So, atmanaha, for the atma, for the small self. Okay. Repeating, atma alone is the bandhu, and it will be a bandhu provide you have won over yourself by your effort. Jiva prayatna is being emphasized. And anatmanastu, one who has not won over himself, one who has no value for atma. Varteta, the atma itself remains as shatrutve, as a shatru, shatruvat. In enmity, it remains as an enemy. See, here essentially talking about how we lack discipline in self-growth. Why self-growth? Anything for that matter. Anything for that matter. Be it sports, be it profession, There are a lot of youngsters these days who say, we work from home. Okay, you work from home. So what? So we start work at afternoon, 12 o'clock, and we work till midnight or beyond. And next day we have to rest. Fine. So what? Therefore, I don't get time to do anything else. Do you get time to check your text messages? Do you get text to grow into various groups, wasteful chats? Do you get time to see movies? Oh, that some entertainment is necessary for me. Yes, it is necessary. In the same way, some self-discipline is necessary. So if you don't bath in time, if you don't follow food cycles in time, if you don't change clothes in time, if you don't keep personal hygiene, for what? Because you're working from 12 to 12. There is no logic behind this thing. This is when it comes to work. So many other things. They're so busy from 9 to 9. I don't get time to do all this. But you get a lot of time to do something else. So this kind of excuse giving will not work, especially when it comes to spirituality. What is spirituality? We'll see. A success for spirituality depends upon so many factors. We will see that. So let's go to verse number 7. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः परमात्मा समाहितः. Whole line. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः. Second line. शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः तथा मानापमानयोः. Whole line. शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः. The words. Shitoshna Sutta Sukha Dukkha. Before we go into that, we come into word meaning. Let's look at something. What are the basics required for disciplining yourself to initiate spiritual growth? Spiritual growth, let me make it very clear to you. Spiritual growth doesn't mean going to temples, chanting shlokas, putting nama, vibhuti, ringing bells. That is not spirituality. That's one more physical action, while it contributes to spirituality. But if you think that is spirituality, somewhere along the way, you have missed the bus. People say, yes, I do my morning puja. Okay, fine. How long? I don't ask this question. No, sir, I'm comfortable doing my morning puja. I don't climb for Vedantic study at all. Krishna says it won't. I don't say. Krishna says it won't work. So, this alone, these 4 steps which I'm going to give you now, alone will make spirituality a success. First is called Atma Sanyam, equanimity. What is this equanimity? Equanimity is the capacity to move from what to so what. It's an amazing capacity. Simply an amazing capacity. The story my teacher used to tell me so often, I don't mind telling it to you as many times as possible. A person whose ship was sailing in the deep seas gets a news, the ships have sunk, sir. But so what? So the entire cargo is gone. And as it is sunk on war territory, there is one clause in insurance, Under the insurance clause, nothing is payable, sir. But so what? Sir, the bank is pressing for repayment of loan. They are going to call in the collateral and the mortgage. What? So what? It's called equanimity. shock comes in, you absorb and respond. When the shock comes, it doesn't mean that he doesn't say so what in the beginning. No, not such. The stimuli does hit. But before the reaction from the stimuli, there is thought, there is mindfulness. The mindfulness is based on certain realities. Versus mindfulness is based on an understanding. By jumping up and down, nothing is going to be achieved. There are other steps which I may have to take. It's called Atma Sanyam. Very, very essential, especially when you are going to study Vedanta. Spiritual life, before studying spiritual life, it will call for certain demand, certain discipline. Okay, so Atma Sanyam. Second, Atma Kripa, self-confidence. Yes, I will be able to do it. I don't know Sanskrit, I don't know chanting, I've learned only in English. I rely only on translation. I have no idea there is something called original. I can't attend classes. You can give so many excuses for not doing. But can you find out one reason for doing? I will follow that. That's called Atma Kripa. I may have n number of constraints, but spirituality is my priority. I will study. So Atma Kripa. Third is Jiva or Atma Prayatna. You have to put in effort. Staying in one part of the city, the classes are being held 20 kilometers away. I can't go. The classes are held at some point of time. I can't. I am working that time. Invariably, I travel on weekends and my travel starts on Friday. So you can find so many excuses, but you say, no, I have to do it. I will do it. I'll find my way. I will reschedule my meetings. My meetings fall between 5:30 and 7. I have made known to my organization that between 5:30 and 7, I am into certain studies, which I don't think is necessary even to explain to you. But if your boss understands, you can possibly say, we do Gita Satsang. He doesn't have what waste of time. You don't have to even explain all. Between 5:30 and 7 are not available. Schedule the meeting before 5, or I will come back after 7 and attend your meeting. There are people who have done this. There are people who have done. And when you do it consistently, regularly, and consistently, there have been times when I was in Kolkata, when I was in Chennai, when Puja Swami Dayanandi's talks were going on, I've had the department heads calling me and said, your Swamiji is in town. Are you not leaving? Office still 5:10. He says, don't worry. Finish your work, leave at 4:30. I will take care. Don't take leave, but work till 4:30. You get support, you get commitment. So, prayatna is essential. You can't say, if God wills, it will come to me. God wills, you will catch cold. Doesn't make sense. And if God wills, if it is in my destiny, it will happen. Fatalistic, humbug, I would say. The fellow has no interest to do. No interest in doing all. That he will bluff. Something like that. Doesn't Atma Prayatna. And the fourth is Atma Jitaha, self-mastery. So Sanyama, Atma, is control over your pairs of opposites, Ragadvesha. When you say self-Atma Jitaha, you are talking about mastery over sense organs. I heard a talk in which there was a person who is saying that eyes will look, but you close your eyes and look at something else. What will you look at something else? This is not Atmajita. Somebody was explaining this. Close your eyes and look at something else. When you close your eyes, and what will you look at? Since scent will come, you have to learn to smell something else. It doesn't make sense to me. It didn't work. Thank God I didn't listen to all these 30, 40 years ago. Eyes will look. Stimuli will come. You will have to say, let it come, let it not come. My focus is on this subject. I am focused on this. I am not focused elsewhere. Sounds will come, but I am focused here. So Atma Jitaha, mastery. Here Atma means the body, mind, sense complex, not Atma, consciousness. Atma has many meanings at many points of time, context. Here means this Atma, body, mind, sense complex. Okay. Such a person is called a Jitat Manah. Such a person is called a Jitat Manah. And he is also called a Prashanta. Prashanta means one who is calm. Shanta, Prakarshena Shanta, calm. These stimuli does not disturb him. Okay, Prashanta. You should have seen 2011, India has got 1 over left, 4 runs to win. India's cricket captain is batting, and the opening ball in the fast bowler from the opposite side is bowling. Deathly silence everywhere. 4 runs. And total concentration, he hits a 6. And in that, the store, then the crowd bursts. He smiles and walks. So that calmness before. You have also experienced that calmness before an examination. Or when you have done something well, when you're sure you want to do something well. Okay, that Prashanta Atma you have experienced. So for such a person who is a Jitatmanaha, who is a Prashantaha, what does it say? Paramatma Samahitaha. For such a person, recognizing Paramatma, the reality, is easy. How is it easy? When he reads the scriptures, the right meaning will reveal itself. Try it sometime. The right reveal itself meaning you would have heard it sometime, and that will reveal itself. The right meaning, that is called, the scriptures can be used to your advantage. You will not take out kutarka meaning out of all this. A lot of people enjoy taking out kutarka meaning. Senseless things they will talk about. It's called kutarka. How do I know this will happen? See, long back when I was teaching a bunch of, this. In Tamil, there is a good word. It says Randangata. In Hindi, it means neither idhar ke nor udhar ke. The fellow is, caught out of 19, not out 21, so 20. He will not understand anything. If you tell him, he won't understand. On his own, he won't understand. He will read everything possible. He'll listen to everybody possible. Remember all those arguments and come and argue with you. But he will not remember it because he's coming with the objective of proving you wrong. Okay. This highly agitated. Osho says this. JK says this. That fellow says this. I said, why don't you read the book? You are coming here every day of the week. Why don't you say this man says this? Why do you want to? The study is for proving the other person wrong. So once we were talking about pramana. Why should I accept it? So I told him Vedas. Why should I accept the Vedas? I said, do me a favor, don't come to Sunday classes. Or if you come, don't come to my class. This is called, the scriptures are being, it will not work for you. It will simply not work for you. Because, the agitation is so much. Or papa janma karma, purva janma papa karma. And one does not have to struggle to understand the Atma, own the Atma. This is called Tasya Prashantasya Paramatma Samahitaha. It is evident. What is evident? We have to be very, very careful about what is evident. For many, because we are leading to Dhyanam. We are leading towards Dhyana Yoga. So the teacher says, you have to be careful about what is evident. Realization. Okay. Our Swamiji used to say, there are only two things you have realized. Okay. You can realize you have been foolish. Okay. You have some assets, you can sell it off and realize some cash. There is no other realization. Especially when it comes to the field of realization, there is nothing called realization and there is nothing called self-realization. I'm making a very strong statement. Okay? There is nothing called self-realization. Atma Jnanam has nothing to do with self-realization. What is there to realize? Are you not evident? That you are, is it not evident to you? Should somebody else come and tell you? You are inside, somebody knocks the door. That you are is evident. Somebody rings the phone. Yes, you are evident. But let me check. The mobile has been working for the last 1 hour. I have been eating, so I must be. You say, I might perhaps be evident. That you are is evident. But what is this samahitaha? That evident consciousness you are identifying with the BMS, samsara. That BMS, body, mind, sense complex, is as though alive because of Atma, because of Paramatma. This will be evident. Clear? This will be evident. That I am is Swatasthidha. But what I am will also start becoming evident to you. Nobody has to tell you you are. But the scriptures have to reveal to you what you are. Otherwise, you identify with the BMS, body, mind, sense complex, and it is called samsara, identifying with the wrong and suffering everything related to that. Okay, so one will not struggle. But there is a lot of, using the word realization, salvation. A lot of people, I'm not talking of any particular group, please don't mistake me. Because it is happening, and as a teacher of Vedanta who have learned it traditionally from traditional teachers, I can't help mentioning it to you, but it's not a criticism or to anyone. If somebody who is doing that comes to me, I'll only do namaskara, but I won't attend, listen to what he says. I may not listen to his lectures. But there are a lot of good work they may be doing, social service and things like that, which I don't have any objection. Non-Vedantic teaching, meaning self-realization. The voice itself will change. And something will happen. There is a lot of money in that stuff. By selling you a mystical experience, by telling you that something will happen for which you need to do this. A lot of money. Papi pet ka sawal hai. Lot of money there. Udhara nimittam bahukrita vesham. You can have a lot of dadi hair and then give a beatific smile and things like that. A lot of money. There's no Vedanta. Absolutely zero Vedanta. Jitatmanaha prashantasya. What is the one should do? Evident The evident ahankara is evident. My problems are evident. Okay. My roles are evident. The pressures in my lives are evident. They are all evident. And I'm aware of all of them. I'm perfectly aware. Nobody has to tell me. I'm aware, perfectly aware of all of them. Okay. I now have to do what is called a switching. Switching from the changeless, changing thoughts to the changeless Atma. Different from the Atma I used in the front. Okay. Self, self, self. So I am aware of the change. This is an exercise you have to do if you want Vedanta to work for you. Or you can wait all your life for some exotic experience, and all these exotic experience come after paying good money also. They pay good money. There's a very nice story. There was a couple in the US. And every morning, this fellow used to get up at an unearthly hour, go into the attic and do some chanting. And wives, was very suspicious. This fellow gets up at 3:30. What's he doing? So she started looking, is he having an affair with somebody next door? Or is he having an affair with someone? That's the first thought that comes. Then one day she waited up for him. The moment he caught up and he checked she was asleep and he started moving, she also quietly got up, put on her, that gown. It was very cold, and she followed him. So again looked up and down, opened the hatch and went into the attic. Shut the attic after him. She sat there for some time and then went to sleep. And one day she caught him in the act and she told him, "What are you doing in the attic?" He said, "No, you won't understand." She said, "See, I was doubtful that you're doing something. But you sit there and you make some funny noises. What are you doing there?" He said, "No, I met one Swami." See, many Swamis from India have gone abroad and created a lot of problems for the Westerners. Many of these hippie culture has come only from many of the so-called Swamis who went there and created. You don't have to do anything. Surrender to Krishna. And you will do Dhammarudam. That's what he will do. So then she pressurized him so much, and finally he said, "No, that Swami gave me a mantra." So what is this mantra? Oh, mantra. A meaningless sound. She says, "What? You get up at 3 o'clock in the morning in this cold and sit up there in the attic and chant a meaningless sound? Don't tell me you paid something for it." Shamefacedly said, "I paid $400. Said, "I ask you for housekeeping money, you don't pay, and you pay some shammy $400 for chanting a meaningless sound. I am leaving you." And she left. This fellow said, "My word, the mantra works." Exotic mantras will work like this one. No realization. You end up poorer or you end up damaging relationships. Simple switching attention. Is there light in the room? To know the light, do you have to go on a mystical experience? You just have to be aware of the light. How do you know there is light? If there was no light, I will not be visible. Evident. It's something like that. If the evident, awareful Atma were not there, this jigga all will not happen. They will be called a corpse. Gone. When is the funeral? When are you removing the body? Call the relatives. Remember that. There's no mystical experience. What is this mystical experience? So, shifting of attention to the ever evident Atma, and from the changing thoughts is an exercise. And this happens readily. Okay? So what does he say? Listen to the teacher. And when you listen to the teacher, for that itself you need a relaxed mind. In the relaxed mind, when the mind is relaxed, Paramatma Samahitaha, his self-evident, will become easily evident. One does not have, please understand very clearly, you don't have to do special meditation to realize the ever evident Atma. I will close. What will you do? So, the first four steps I told you: equanimity, self-confidence, self-effort, self-mastery prepares you well for this relaxed mind, in which Atma is anyway evident. That you are Atma will become even more clear. Okay? There are two steps sadhana here. Very, very important. Many books will not give you this teaching. Okay? They'll give you some loose translation and leave you like that and say, come to part 2 of our course. Cost naturally. Advanced course costs 1,999. Non-refundable. The first part of the sadhana is turning attention to the Sakshi. If you have time, please join me for my morning meditation. We call it Mananam. The attention is changing your, the objective is changing attention. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Objective is changing your attention or switching. I lose this word. Switching attention from the changing thoughts to the changeless Sakshi. A lot of changes happening. You're chanting a mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. Change is happening, no? Om Namah Shivaya. Gap. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Changing thoughts. Gap. Changing thoughts. Gap. Changing thoughts. Gap. Are you aware of it? Are you aware of the chant? Are you aware of the gap? Shifting attention from Om Namah Shivaya to the gap, to the awareness. And that is you. That is the first part of the sadhana. Okay? The second part of the sadhana is tougher. The second part of the sadhana is changing your attention, not only switching attention. The second part of the sadhana, that is called advanced meditation, if you can call, is identifying that the Sakshi is me. And the Ahankar, the BMS, the roles, its problems are all pseudo me, transactional reality. They come, they go, they come, they go, they produce certain experiences, but I am actually the Atma. I am the changeless. That doesn't mean I ignore the transactions. It is this changeless which functions through the changing. The roles will face sukha, dukkha, everything. But I will have, it will not come and touch me. Sukha, Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkheshu, Tatha, Manapamana. Oh, all this will happen to the role. The leader of the party can be insulted. The father can be abused by the son or anybody. Sometimes by the son, sometimes by the daughter-in-law. The daughter will say, what son you have brought up? As though I brought up a Rottweiler dog. Father can be abused. The husband can be abused. The lover can be abused. They're all rose. None of them will touch me. Okay. This is Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkheshu Mana Apamana Yogo Jitatmanaha equanimity. That doesn't mean like I'm a clod of earth who are not affected by all this. I will take appropriate measures, but there will not be an inner boiling over. It happens, no? You boil over. How can they call this to me? No respect for this generation. They don't care. I did so much for them. This boiling over from inside won't be there. The role is played by naturally the consciousness. So there will be an effect, will definitely be there. Imagine you're playing the role. The 26th Republic Day was there. You are reminded of the sacrifices of so many freedom fighters. And one freedom fighter, okay, who a young man was hanged. Nobody supported him, including the Indian freedom fighters at that point of time. Suppose you play that role. How will you feel? You yourself will applaud and you see it on YouTube and say, sir, I did good acting. Is it not so, sir? This time I would like to play the British officer who hangs this fellow to death. Why? You know the problems of the roles don't touch you. So this is what he drives, teacher drives, and he says, very important, meditation, dhyanam, is meant for this shift to become spontaneous. Initially, you have to work. Then the shift becomes spontaneous. That's what the purpose is. That is verse number 8. No, sorry, 7. Let's read verse number 8. I will be taking only 2 today because these 2 need to be covered in fairly elaborate detail. Verse number 10. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Whole line. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha. Secondly, Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi. Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi. Samaloshtamakanchanah. Samaloštashmakanchanah. Once more. Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi. Samaloštashmakanchanah. Whole verse. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Samaloštashmakanchanah. A beautiful word is used here. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma. Triptatma means one who has tripti, atma tripti, self-contentment. Freedom from intellectual hunger. Content. I know what is supposed to be known. I know it well. It is not ahankara. That is called Triptatma. And he has Jnana Vijnana Tripti. Careful with these 2 words. Very important to understand 3 things in Vedanta. Anybody who teaches you Vedanta without these 3 things, understand it is not Vedanta. First, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. First point. Brahman, awareness, consciousness, Paramatma, Ishvara are all same words. Okay? They are, what do you call, they are not even synonyms. You should call them qualifying nouns standing in apposition. Hey, one day I'll take you a grammar class. If they are not adjectives either. Suppose say Brahman, consciousness, you have to look for a Brahman which is conscious. Awareness, you look for a Brahman which is conscious and awareness. Then you have to say it is Paramatma also. Then it will be lost. So they are all called qualifying nouns standing in a position. I'll take you the grammar someday on this. So awareness, consciousness is Satyam. That alone is Satyam. Everything else is Mithya. Mithya means it's not non-existent. Mithya means that which does not have an independent existence of its own. This is Jnana. Mithya. Mithya. That's not it. Body, Mithya. Aham, Satyam. So this must be clear to you. That is called Jnanam. What is Vijnanam? Vijnanam is two-step process. Jiva, Brahma, Naparaha. Everything else is Mithya. But there is a party here which says this is Mithya. So that is Jiva. And there is an Atma. The Jiva and the Atma are not different. The Jiva has 4 layers. I would have told you once in the past. Layer 1, Sthula Shariram. Layer 2, Sukshma Shariram. Layer 3, Karana Shariram. Reflection of the Atma. These 4 together are called Jiva. This Jiva, especially identifying with the reflection and the Paramatma, are not different. Vijnanam. It is not knowledge. You have Viseshana Jnanam. You have to know it well. And you have to go to a third step. Aham Brahmasmi. Everything is Mithya. 3 layers are Mithya. The reflection, the Brahman na paraha, and that non-different Brahman aham has to be known. That is Vijnanam. 2-step sadhana. We are only in chapter 6, 18th chapter we padna. How you have to read. You already know it. You have to reinforce. And when satisfied fully, this person is referred to as a Triptatma. Okay? And he is also referred to as Kutastha. One whose emotional level, the emotional level is very well balanced. I told you earlier, from what to so what, is emotionally well balanced. Go back to the earlier verse. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apamana, regarding all of them, he is balanced. Meaning, see, we have to be very careful here. He is not a clod, a lump of earth which you insult and get away. He has appropriate responses. He knows how to respond to those situations. Some situations he will ask questions. Some situations he may walk away. He may walk away. A wise man, he knows what to do, when to do, how to do, most importantly, how much to. A lot of people talk. He is such a big Mahatma, he can do this, he can do. Why is he not doing against all this? It doesn't mean he doesn't want to. He knows what is to be done, when is to. The situation has to be right. Krishna didn't tell the Pandavas to start fighting today. He said you have to wait for 14 years. Wait. Much of the trouble is your own making. So what will he do about it? Okay? So kutastaha, he's steady when it comes to his emotional level. The capacity and the ability, from what to so what, capacity, ability is well honed. We have that capacity regarding so many things. Imagine having that capacity regarding all things in life, having it regarding various things in creation. ठीक है यार, नहीं मिला तो ठीक. A lot of people talk this. A lot of people talk. Yeah, it recently happened. There was something to be done. There were some people who had some roles to play. Very senior person, he's about 77 years old. So age-wise, mature person. Calls himself a senior citizen. And he says, I'm not like all these people hankering for attention and things like that. If I'm not elected, it doesn't make a difference to me. I don't need approval from all these people. And after all the people go away, he comes on the private chat. He said, Kal mera naam aap propose karenge na? You will propose my name, no? Hey, what was all this bravado talking about 300 people? It doesn't make a difference to me, yaar. I'll walk away. And he said, yaar, you should propose, yaar. If you say so, people will listen. Ye kya baat hai, yaar? So, saying a lot of things, nothing here. Then I said, do you really want it? I said, no, yaar, at least one term, I should not be defeated. Then I said, why don't you stand down? He said, no, how can I stand down? I have done all this for so many years. How can I stand down like that? I created the whole thing. Because emotional level is, the younger fellow, 50 years younger, stood down. So, kutastaha, samatva, one who is equanimity, the one which we talked about, samatva, with respect to everything in creation. He is a Vijitendriya, iti uchyate. And such person is called a yogi. Okay? And one who has the same attitude towards Loshta, Ashma, Kanchana, a lump of earth, stone, and gold. Lump of earth is valueless. Stone has some value. You can build a house. Kanchana is gold. You can buy more gold, more stones. Towards all of them, you are equanimous. Very careful. You don't pay lump of earth for gold. The transactional value is clear. The absolute value is also clear. An intelligent, wise person. So, the jnana vijnana, one whose intellect is satisfied by jnana vijnana, who is steady, who has mastered the sense organs, is called a yogi. Okay? This disciplined yogi, very important to know, goes through 2 stages of Atma Jnana. 2 stages. The disciplined person, undisciplined fellow will not get anything, even first stage will not. The disciplined person has to go through 2 stages of Atma Jnanam. At the first stage, suppose I tell you, when you do the meditation, you will say, yes, sir, I am a conscious being. I am a conscious being and I play roles. Yeah, all this is first stage. I have consciousness. I have consciousness. There is consciousness in other beings also. The existence factor is the consciousness. I am endowed with consciousness. It is distinct. It pervades. It illumines. Everything is clear. That is the first stage. You don't say you are a basic, it is called adhikari. You are called a madhyama adhikari. Adhama adhikari doesn't know. The madhyama adhikari. We have to become uttama adhikari. Who is the uttama adhikari? The uttama adhikari is, instead of saying, I have a body and there is consciousness. I am the body and there is consciousness in the body. The Uttama Adhikari will say, I am the consciousness. And this is a temporary instrument which I use for transactions, not at the verbal level, at the deeply ingrained Triptatma, one who's deeply ingrained and assimilated this knowledge. Okay? Jnana is fine. All of us have, we are all, no, otherwise we would be sitting through this class. Weekly, we are on the talk number 93 or something, or 94. All of you are regularly attending. We are all adhikaris, madhyama adhikaris. From madhyama adhikari, the kutastaha, the atma tripta, jnana vijnana triptatma has to now. You don't have to go to the public and announce, hello, who's speaking? I am consciousness here, whose name is so, and you don't have to give me all this humbug, okay? In your interaction, you respond from the consciousness. And that response plays through the roles. The life is different. Okay? The change of identification is called Vijnanam. The first level is called Paroksha Jnanam. There is consciousness. The second level, Aparoksha Jnanam, is when I am evident and I am that consciousness. That has to become well ingrained. Only then your sense of limitation, smallness, leaky bucket will go. Otherwise, leaky bucket. I am consciousness, but I have a lot of. I have consciousness, I have a lot of. You even add, I'm consciousness, my roles have a lot of problems. Then it makes me disturbed. You will only speak, change your language. Identification. When you are sure I am consciousness, roles will have problems. I respond from the consciousness and do what is proper. Then the sense of limitation will go. There was a person, after listening to all this, asked me, hey, why should I do all this struggle? I'm comfortable. I said, तो हम ठीक है ना, हम तो मस्ती में हैं. It was my mistake to try to talk to that person. हम तो ठीक है ना, sir. Why should you take? I said, yeah, you're right here. Go on. That, when I spoke about this to Swami Dayanandji, and then we were traveling somewhere together, and he giggled. Swamiji had a nice chuckle. He will chuckle. My ears yearn for the chuckle of Swamiji. He had a nice chuckle. Hey, he'll chuckle. And he said, you should have done some more thing. Every 5 minutes, keep asking. Sab theek hai na? हाँ ठीक है sir. ठीक है ना? All well. You all have WhatsApp. Every morning you send a person 7 times all well, with a question mark. See what reply comes. He says, 3 basic fears will never go. You may cover it. What is the fear? Fear of mortality. I will die someday. Something which is dear to me will die someday. Mortality will never go. That's a sense of limitation. Disease, I may be. All you have to do is to look for some kind of disease. You will immediately know. There is a book called Pickwick Papers. You should read that. He says, I had this. He had 3 pages of disease. Then he says that was the most difficult spelling test I did. You read the name of each disease and look at the symptoms. You have a feeling you have all that disease. And one more thing, uncertainty and old age. Nobody wants it. The other day was saying, yeah, the fellow who says, I don't want to be elected. Aamko aaram se mar jana hai. You should go to sleep and never wake up, man. I didn't ask him. You didn't want to wake up and now you want me to propose your name, is it? So, there is no remedy for this problem. You say, I am comfortable. Just, telling that. Vacharam. If you want this solved, you have to come to Vedanta. There is no way out. And how will Vedanta help you? It's like when you get down from a railway station in a strange city, or in Kolkata, you have this thing called Durga Puja. Oh my God, 5 days of celebration. In every street corner, there will be one, may I help you counter. The counter won't come to you. You have to go to the counter and ask the right question. So it is like a may I help you counter. Vedanta says, may I help you? So just imagine this. Just imagine. You live a relaxed life. No fear of old age. No fear of death, disease. No fear of financial troubles. With the knowledge that if these trouble comes, they will come to the sheath, the shell, and not to me, the fulfilled Atmatrita. Is it worth learning this? Such knowledge will become if you are yours, if you are a Vijitendriya, one whose emotions are unshaken by events. When I say unshaken, some pain you will feel, but it will not drag you down, it will not keep you there. Such a person is a yogi, a yukta, one who is endowed with this knowledge, one who is alive and one who abides in this knowledge is a yogi, and one who enjoys the sameness towards the valueless, towards the indifferent, and towards higher life. Sameness means you know how to handle them. It doesn't mean say somebody says, I will give you, want to give you a ring, sir, golden ring. You say, no, no, give me a clay ring. That is foolish. And people who argue all this are the better, they are called Adama Buddhi. No point. At the transaction level, you relate to everything appropriately without being impelled by Ragadvesha. He knows that a desirable object does not give Purnatva. It is useful, but it does not give Purnatva. If it taken away, it will not reduce his Purnatva. These things about objects are clear to him. And this is the shifting of attention to this from the changing, is meditation at this level. We have completed verse 8 and 9. 7 and 8. We will go into verse 9 from the next session. Okay, we will see that in the coming, and then we will see actually how to get into the process of meditation in the coming weeks. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahimmahisha gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet asato ma satyamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai ho, Swami Dayananda Maharaj ki jai ho. Jai ho. Bajrang Bali ki jai ho. Pavan Putra Hanuman ki jai ho. Have a wonderful week. We'll meet again next week. Om.